The Knights, their season is still alive. Titans started fast in this one, but they faded badly. And Newcastle were excellent. Ponga a standout, of course.
Well, I think that's the kind of thing against the Knights' win was how much influence Kalen had. And I think that's a little bit scary if they do crack the 8, the reliance they have on Kalen. I know their halves weren't too bad and they fed Kalen the ball when he needed it, but I just think at the moment, and without sounding disrespectful, they're a bit of a one-trick pony with Kalen, unfortunately.
That's disrespectful.
Well, I suppose it is, but I just think there's a few others. The halves combination, Cogger and Phoenix Crossland, yeah. I'd like to see them just do a little bit more. I know Kalen's out there, but be a little bit more dominant.
I do get that, Honey, because we have had that many halves combinations. The Knights have had so many halves combinations this year.
And this halves combination is the best one they've had this year, I believe.
Going good.
But I think they just need to be a little bit more dominant, which I suppose I get is difficult when you have such an influential player like Kalen out there who wants the ball and needs the ball.
Yeah,
but regardless of that, I thought they had an outstanding win.
I tell you what, we'll talk about it later. It sets up some sort of game next week at McDonald Jones Stadium against the Dolphins. Yeah. I'd be surprised if it's not sold out now.
I think it is.
It is.
I heard it on the wireless.
Yeah.
Sold
on the
out
wireless.
on the wireless.
Haven't heard that radio called the wireless.
You're on the wireless, aren't you?
Yeah, on the wireless. Do you listen to the wireless?
Nah.
Well, how do you listen to the wireless? Because you rode your scooter over today. So strange. I don't know. I was hoping you'd pick up and go with that. No, he was going to ride a scooter, but unfortunately I can't get a helmet big enough. Of course, it's only joking. I'd be in on
Is it an e-scooter? The e-scooter.
E-scooter.
Yeah. They're banned, Matthew.
Sorry?
They're banned.
Are they?
Yeah. Lithium batteries, no good.
No. Gotcha. Well, I must say, when I was in Paris for the Olympics, they're very dangerous because, they're driving on the other side of the road there, and I'd be looking, bang, and someone comes flying with an e-bike.
That's your fault.
I know, but it was... Anywho. Now, my Maccas I'm loving at the moment is the tactical masterclass from Wayne Bennett last night. It was amazing. After the game, one of the Dolphins players, was Herbie, said that the players, until the last minute, were really unaware of the changes that were going to take place. Wayne kept it to himself. He didn't want it leaking out. So Trey Fuller to fullback, Hammer to the centres, Jake Everillo to 6, Isaiah Katoa to the bench. Look, at first I thought to myself, when the changes were being made, I thought it was very strange, but it gave the Dolphins, let them simplify their game, gave them a better running threat. The old fella's done it again.
Very Brian Smith-like.
Yes,
changed that late. But, I thought it was a great performance from the Dolphins. Really gave it to the Broncos, didn't they, in the local derby up there. But I thought having Marshall King back, I thought was a huge part of the game, and Plath as well there at the dummy half. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Not just his role as in the 9 position, but when he came on and played that 13 spot again. I think he's
been a great find.
He's just going like that.
Yeah, Wishy 40-6, Dolphins over the Broncos. Herbie Farnworth, he's been a good player the last couple of years. Mate, this will be on his greatest hits album. He was, unstoppable at times.
Yeah, he was unreal. I think every time he got the ball, something happened. And, you see there, I just feel like he's got that ability to break that first tackle. And
see what our producers do there. Herbie Farnworth goes bananas.
Yeah.
See, that's what we. This is what we do here.
Farnsworth. Probably should have dropped the Farnworth out. Herbie. We all know who Herbie is.
I was just going to say that.
Can you take that out?
Can you just remove Farnworth? And we show for. Yeah, Herbie goes bananas.
It was probably the busiest I've seen him play. Like he was. He was very busy.
Very, very good.
Could have passed it a couple of times.
Mate, and the 2 blokes that were central to the changes, Trey Fuller and the Hammer, my God, they were good. Trey Fuller, we said this early in the year, when he had that really hot streak, we said, I wonder if Wayne would consider moving Hammer to the centres to accommodate him. That's what's happened.
Well, it worked last night, so, surely next year this kid is too good to be playing reserve grade. So, the Broncos, they were poor. When everything's on the line, that's what I suppose they're more I'd be disappointed. You could see the frustration with Kevy.
You know what? Can I just point something out? That Pat Carrigan scored a try early in the game. And I must say, it was a sort of strange reaction from the Broncos. Like there wasn't you'd imagine the importance of the game. Yeah. I suppose it's been a bludger of a season.
Terrible.
A long season. Mate, you can imagine how filthy Kevy Walters was after the game, and you could see it in the press conference.
Kev, you said it's not part of who you are as a club and team, but that wasn't a one-off tonight. You've had some pretty poor losses the last 3 months.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
What about the Bulldogs game here? It was pretty bad.
Oh, well, yeah, well, it wasn't great, but... Yeah, what do you think? You seem to know a lot about everything.
What do you mean I seem to know a lot about everything? I'm just asking you. You're saying it's not part of your team, but it's
not,
happened
no.
more than once, Kevin.
Yeah, it has, which is not... That's what I'm saying, it's not great, so...
Yeah. Not happy. Yeah, not happy. And understand it. Broncos, we said before, a number of errors from the Broncos, and just made it so hard for themselves. So just really, after a short period of time, they weren't in the fight.
Nah, and they just kept getting dominated in defence and attack. The Dolphins just look like a top 2 side.
Yeah,
they look really dominant. And for whatever reason, it is a long season, I suppose, but the loss of Adam Reynolds earlier in the year, Ezra Mam, I know Payne came back, but he wasn't right.
You know what, Fletch, and Hindy, you touched on this on Thursday night. The players, the forwards that Wayne brought to the club, the experience. I know Jesse Bromwich is into it at the moment, but, you know, Kenny Bromwich, and you had Felice and Mark Nichols and those guys. Those sort of games, that's what he's brought them for. That big game experience and holding their nerve, and they're going to need it next week up in Newcastle.
Yeah, well, I don't think Felice. I think Felice has been
suspended.
Suspended, so that's a big loss.
Final round coming up, and look at that chase for 8 spots, a blanket finish. There we are, Dolphins on 28 points. With you've got the Knights there, St George Illawarra, Canberra Raiders. It's just this time of the year. Honestly, there'll be so many coaches just can't. If only we'd grab that win, the game that we should have won. For and against is so important as well. Let's have a look at some of the games that's going to happen here over the course of the weekend. First, let's talk about the Knights versus the Dolphins. Now, these are all the games. We'll talk about Knights versus Dolphins. Huge match. As I said before, McDonald Jones Stadium will be 30,000+ people. Straightforward. Winner plays finals, boys. Who wins? Who goes through?
I think the Dolphins, I think they get Cody Nikorima back.
No Kafusi?
Yeah, no Kafusi, but I think their spine now looks probably the best it's looked with Jeremy Marshall-King coming out. And you would presume that Trey Fuller will start at fullback because that experiment worked. I just think that the Dolphins might have a bit too many points in them.
The Dolphins play a little bit more exciting style of footy, but for me, this one's a toss of a coin.
Yeah.
You don't know. I think the start is very important in this game. I think whoever gets the start in this game will be the one that goes on and wins it.
Yep, it's true. Now Saturday
Yeah.
Saturday night we've got the Dragons against the Raiders. Now, these two, however slim, can still make the 8. Now, when I say slim, they need, for the Knights and the Dolphins, to have a draw after Golden Point. So that's
split the points.
It does happen.
Yeah.
It does happen. So, Dragons, Raiders, boys. Raiders looking for 3 in a row. But Dragons have shown in the past they can bounce back from.
You would think they would bounce back.
Yeah, but the Raiders don't go away though. That's the thing. The Raiders, they're a gutsy team. That's the style of footy they like to play. And I think Ricky can get them up again. But it's whether or not the Dragons play as poorly as what they did against the Eels again, which I think after Flano's presser, they would have had a rocket fair
of the clack
aimed at them. Yep. So they didn't really answer anything.
No, it was a statement.
Wishy.
I agree.
Yes. Good man.
Now, Friday, they call it the spoon ball. You've got the Tigers up against the Eels, Hindy. Big one in this one. 44-40, playing in the heat. Parramatta. Tigers have put the feet up and had a week off.
They've had the bye, the Tigers, but this is the most exciting spoon off in all seriousness, no one wants to get the spoon. And people go, well, you don't remember who gets the spoon. Bullshit. Everyone remembers who gets the spoon. So this is an important game for both sides, and both sides will be going out there to do their darndest not to finish last, because no one wants to finish last. No one wants to finish last. That goes down in the record books as coming last, and everyone sees it. Everyone talks about it. Tigers know what it's like. The Eels know what it's like. So this is going to be a huge game for both sides.
It's a tough place to win, Campbelltown.
Yep.
Too.
Friday night footy.
Yep.
Now,
Dogs versus the Cowboys. That was pretty impressive, brother. Now, neither can break into the top 4, but they can move around the 5, 6, 7 spot. Cowboys have won last of their 5 of their last 6. It's really snuck under the radar, the Cowboys. Bronson Cherry, he's serving a 1-week suspension. However, Stephen Crichton returns. Winner will get a home final. Loser will play Manly. Who wins, boys?
Well, it's the attacking prowess of the Cowboys versus the defence of the Dogs. I think they certainly missed Crichton's leadership against... When they started getting behind against Manly, you could see they were a little bit quiet behind the post. So I expect them to bounce back and their defence will get them over the out of the Cowboys.
I think the Dogs have kind of been brought back down to earth a bit after the game against Manly, and I think the Cowboys, with the experience of, you know, Drinkwater did and Holmes, a few others in the side, I'm leaning towards the Cowboys in this one.
Yeah, I do like the Dogs. I can see the Dogs bouncing back in this one. Manly versus the Sharks. Now, Manly have won 9 of their last 11 at home. Manly are playing for a home final. As far as the Sharks are concerned, regardless where they're going to sit, the most important thing for the Sharks is they've got to win. You don't want to go into the final with a couple of bad losses.
Well, we know what happens with the Sharks, and the last couple of years they've gone out in straight sets, so they want to arrest that. Tommy's a huge loss.
Yeah, massive.
Do we know the extent of the injury?
They're just saying it's an AC, aren't they?
Yeah,
They've rested him.
Yeah.
They'll have 1 week off.
Just
they reckon he'll be
a
back to the
sprain in
semis.
the AC.
Okay. Is that his bodgy one?
Don't know.
Does he have a good one?
Don't know. Could be. Yeah. Syndesmosis in the ACL. And the last one, I'll tell you what, Rabbitohs versus Roosters, Fletch.
Yeah.
Rabbitohs, be a massive game. The Roosters have won the last 3 against the Rabbitohs, but I tell you what, there's a lot of interest around this game. Just watching what Trent Robertson does, what's going to be the combinations in those vital positions.
Well, that's right. Who are they going to put in? Obviously, they've had some injuries, so there'll be no Sam Walker. Does he rest players? Because I think the Chooks, it looks like they'll finish 3rd. So, which they play Penrith. They would play Penrith, wouldn't they? Yeah, it just depends on what Robbo sees fit for the side. I think the Chooks, for me. Wishy?
Yeah, I don't know.
Get off the fence.
Yeah, don't worry, Wishy. Don't answer it, mate. You don't. Bellyache will kill you. Having said that, who do you want to play week 1 of the finals? Don't answer it, he'll kill you.